Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Solana, seeing what's going on with this daily analysis. And as we can see, we did see the price action pull back really close to this 0.618 Fibonacci level, but bounced perfectly off the 0.5. So that's just a nice little place there to see that bounce. And if this is the bottom, again, I like to emphasize the word if this is the bottom, we should see another higher high to break that $46.91 high here recently. Okay, so awesome stuff there. Again, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I love teaching people to trade. Really hope you can learn something here today. If you do want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. Looks a little something like this here. These are the results, of course, here from our Solana short. We took a short a couple days ago at about, what, $44? And got all the way down to our fourth profit target. Took about 40% in roughly 1 day and 8 hours. Again, that was only a 5x leverage trade. We try not to go too crazy with our leverage. I'm a little more conservative myself personally, so if you want to decide to go with that premium group, just know that a little more conservative. I do not take massive risks. I just like to make sure that our trades are profitable. If you do want to see our profitable trades, check out our Twitter, Telegram, or Discord, and you'll see the results are there. The proof's in the pudding, as some might say. All right, so what I want to talk about here with the daily Solana here is when we looked at this yesterday, we are still overextended, which we are now at this point. We're coming back down under, well, okay. The money flow index is decreasing, which leads me to believe that we're going to start seeing the price action coming down a little bit further. The main reason why is because money comes out of a coin, obviously the price goes down. But we can see the RSI is still fairly high, and as we looked previously, when the RSI is this high, it only stays there for 3 or 4 days, and we've been above this level here for roughly about 13 days. Okay, so again, all the more reason why the price action is due for a correction, which has happened. Is this the lowest point in which it'll go? Probably. We'll double check that and make sure, but if we take a look here at TD Sequential, we can see we got this nice reset here recently. We are also 7 days into this new trend. So hypothetically, we've only got another couple more days before the price action should level out. So we could very well see the price pull back for another day or two. So again, be mindful of that. But truth is, this 0.618 level is a very common retracement zone. We might want to expect the price to pull back to that level. We take a look at the moving averages. We're above all three. It's no surprise when a coin does this. Just know that this ascending type of trend will come to an end eventually, and we're already kind of seeing the starting of it. So the daily truth is the daily still looks very bullish. We are overextended, yes, but we're still absolutely on the right side of the tracks for the most part. Okay, and this is where things get kind of interesting on the 4-hour time frame. I'm just going to remove these fibs here so you can kind of see. Keep in mind, all these little blue lines are key support and resistance levels. We want to be mindful of those. I'm going to leave those on the chart here just so you know. I do have my alert here set roughly about $37, so we can consider entry for a long position if it pulls back that low. I think there is still a possibility of seeing that. So if we take a look at the 4-hour, we are now effectively underneath the 20-day SMA. This is not a guarantee, of course, because it can waver above and below often. But the fact of the matter is here, we're kind of stuck underneath that for the last 12 to 24 hours, and that's kind of the start of a trend. In other words, when the price breaks below the 20-day SMA, it's kind of something to kind of bat your eye at, right? You kind of double check, okay, is this a thing or not? When we break below the 50, that's the true indicator. But for right now, we are tentatively below there, so that's somewhat of a bearish sign on the 4-hour. We're also treading water closer to 50 on the RSI. Typically, when you stay above 50 on the RSI, which we've seen here for some time, as you can see, the price hasn't dropped below 50 on the RSI since we broke above back here in October on the 15th. Okay? So we've been above 50 on the RSI. Even though the price pulls back, it stays above, stays above, stays above. Okay? With us getting closer to that level, it's either a bouncing point or it'll break below and continue lower. Okay? So I just want you to note that, or two notes, and I want you to know that it's important to recognize that level there being kind of not necessarily up for grabs, but under attack. And if we break below that, we could very well see lower price points. So in a perfect world, if you're going to consider a short position, the price will break below 50 on the RSI. We'll be breaking below this trend line here, and we'd be ready to take a short where the price might continue lower. Again, if Bitcoin continues to surge and just say goes to 37, 38, 40,000, then we're going to be in a situation where that may not matter too much. Because again, even though Solana is independent of Bitcoin, it's also doing much better when Bitcoin does well. You got to recognize that. This is all because Bitcoin is doing well, and this is when Bitcoin was doing poorly. Okay? They both look similar, but a lot less struggling here because the market is open and everybody's just pouring money in. Okay? You got to recognize the bears want that to happen. Okay, they're getting ready to sell off their positions pretty massively, which they've kind of already done. But there's still a lot of meat left on this bone here compared to other coins. And what do you think the first thing is going to happen when the Bitcoin, if Bitcoin were to dump? First thing we're going to see is Solana sell off. Okay, All right, so just bear that in mind. There's a strong potential of that due to the fact that there's somewhat of a pairing, if you will. We want to take a quick look at the weekly high, low, open, close. It's very common for the weekly high or the weekly close to be retested. Okay? So just kind of be mindful again. That's right there at that 0.618 level, right there, that low at $33, $34 range. So there's still potential for the price to pull back to that level. Okay? So bear that in mind as well. Again, all the more reason to just be kind of mindful and to adjust your stop loss to at least break even after you've taken profit, and to make sure that you are in a position where if the price does pull back, you're not going to be giving up a bunch of profit. Okay, so I know a lot of folks are very profitable on this coin, and it makes sense, but you also got to be careful too. Okay, protect your investment really is the bottom line. So again, weekly high, low, open, close, very common for that to be retested. Been a very strong profitable week, but I wouldn't be surprised if we retest that most recent high or most recent close and as a bouncing point. So all the more reason why this range here is probably still likely to get tested. The last thing we want to look at here would be TD sequential, or correction, I'm sorry, Ichimoku cloud, and we've effectively broken below the cloud. So this is a bearish indication here. We got the conversion line below the baseline. That is basically a bearish sign. The lagging span is soon intersect here, basically telling us if you have a short position open, you may want to consider taking your profits. And with us being below the cloud, that's ultimately bearish too. So truth is, the macro is looking very bullish still. We're above a lot of trend lines, and there's no reason to expect the price to drop tremendously far. But as we start to kind of look in closer and focus on what's going on in the hourly versus the 4 hour or the daily, we can see this shift in momentum where we've actually broken bearish and we're starting to trend downwards now. Okay. Now this trend needs some time to be able to mature, and if this stays down below here, the cloud, and it keeps working its way down, we're going to start seeing these lower channels retested. It would make sense that it happens just based on the fact that I'm anticipating Bitcoin retesting the 33,000 range. If you're curious about my thoughts on that, watch my Bitcoin video I upload daily. And of course, here on Solana, make sure you understand that there's more propensity for the price to decrease than to increase in the immediate future. Last thing we want to touch on here, though, is just Elliott Wave. And on the 4 hour time frame, it does look fairly bullish. This is the bottom. We're going to see a higher high. Okay, so you got to recognize just because the price is pulling back doesn't mean it's completely over. We still likely have one more leg up. If we look at this on the daily, it's also telling us a very similar scenario here where that $35 range, once again, roughly within this channel between these two key level supports and resistances, is going to give us that indication here. That 0.618.5 on Fibonacci is going to get, we're going to see that happen. So I'm not surprised to see the price action doing what it's doing right now. It makes perfect sense, exactly why we felt confident taking a short. I think our 5th profit target will be hit, which I believe is right in this range here. Okay? So again, all the more reason to just be cautious and careful, protect your investment, adjust your stop loss to break even, and make sure that you are taking some profits if you haven't already. I mean, a good trader, again, these are just trades that I picked up having learned from other good traders, is that you got to make sure that you take profits while you can. So secure some profits, take 65, 75, 80% in your first target. Let the rest ride, adjust your stop loss to break even. It pulls back, it closes out your position, you still walk away profitable. I literally do that on almost every single trade that I take. And these trades here, of course, you can see this large list of trades we've taken. There's a reason why we hit our targets is mainly because we're patient, we wait, and yeah, it might take 2.5 months to take 200%, but I'm okay with that. Right? These are all things that are part of our trading community here. Check that out in your own time. Again, we're going to have limited slots available here soon, so be sure to check that out sooner than later. But once more, different strokes for different folks, right? If you're the the all-in folk, go ahead and jump all in. Let me know how that goes. You'll get lucky once in a while, but at the end of the day, it'll bite you in the butt. And I no longer like to get bitten. No pun intended. I've been bit by a lot of dogs. If you're familiar with my my history there. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks again for watching. Take care.